Yeah. They insured the ships, they paid for the whips, they funded the expeditions, they paid for the trips, and they talk about genocide, they funded our Holocaust, they screaming out Mazel Tov from throwing the Molotov. Hit you in your noggin, now your yarmulke falling off. It's Yahweh or the highway, you'll be dead when the shotty spark. When the shots hit your chest, it'll burn like Bacardi Dark. Return of the Falasha, kill the white Jew imposter, because you lack the matzah to deal with my people proper. Now you gon' have to deal with this breathing shotgun, the slumlord. The moment you see me, you know you done for. You even see my face on your TV, you better run for it. The evil Hebrew, unequal, you claim to be the chosen people. The wrath of God come to see you. No respect for Israel, you criminal, set the colony. You hate me cause I'm speaking the truth, you try to silence me.
I believe in my God and in my gun. And you say, well, you don't really believe in God if you believe in the gun. I believe in God and my gun. And I pray that He will bless you to practice when it's time to shoot. When it's time to shoot straight.
All right. Peace to the Godz. Peace to the Godz. What's good with y'all? What's going on? I ain't spoke to y'all in a minute. I haven't spoke to y'all in a minute. So this show is basically going to be, I just want to chop it over with y'all. You know what I'm saying? I want to test the waters, see what's going on, So one thing as you've seen, actually, is the me to we. Some of y'all seen that thumbnail. Definitely want to get into that today. Well, first off, I just want to, pay homage to Breonna Taylor. It's a year, if I could say anniversary. I don't really like to say anniversaries of a death and stuff like that, because the sister is still living. As long as we say her name, her energy is here, still living. But on the same time, we fighting for her. And we all know it's all eyes on Bree, and it's always been that. All eyes on Bree. You know what I mean? So we're gonna keep doing our thing. We're gonna keep fighting for the sister. But like I say, I want to chop it up with y'all. I want to get it in. It's a lot of things that's been going on in the community. I know certain people has been making certain moves, has been really, really getting it in. I just want to test the waters and see what's cracking. So I put up a link, I pinned it, and if you want to chop it up with OC today, you could definitely do that. So I already got one brother in the queue. You know what I mean? I'm gonna bring you in soon, but I just want to chop it up with you guys. All right. So let me see what's popping up in here. We'll get started in a second. See a few people. What's up, Marcus? You know what I mean? You know what it is. You could call up too. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, I know it's some stuff you don't want to put out. I already know how you get down. But yeah, we can get it in. Let me bring the first person up in here. Let's get it going. Let's get it going. Darnell, what's going on, brother? You got a blank screen.
I'm good. You hear? I didn't turn my camera on yet. Can you hear me?
It's all good. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. I can hear you. How's it going, brother?
Everything's good. Good to see you. Peace to the Godz, great brother.
Peace to the
see
God.
You staying strong.
For sure. Yeah. Just want to chop it up with you. What's going on, brother? Like, what's the word for the day?
Bruh, it's all about, right now, changing where we at, so we can make that change. I'm hearing a lot of, brothers and sisters talk about the things that's taking place with us as a people. And, being around for the time period that I've been, in July 24th, I'll be 60. So that means I've been here, not long, but I've been here long enough to see some of these things we're dealing with today are things we dealt with back in the day, Yes, I was out there with, Dr. King, in Atlanta. I was out there with the Panthers, with the brothers and sisters. We were protesting, sitting and doing all the things we did. And then when Trayvon Martin got murdered, we was back out there again. I happened to be in Florida at the time, we went to the church. Everybody went to the church. Initially, it started out, in the church, and then it grew to, beyond the church. But, when I was out there, OC, I kind of had deja vu. And I'm like, you know what? Didn't we do this? Ain't we done did this before? Because, we done protest. We done, voted. We done got upset. We done did all these different things. And now we out here again. Man. And so it made me think, what did we do back then, all them days that we were sitting in, at Woolworth, Woolcoat in Atlanta, and all them riots? And we back out here again? And it kind of made me think, like, what did we do? Did it really work? Then we look up today dealing with George Floyd. So, OC kind of make me believe that ain't nothing work, bro. Ain't nothing work. Prayer. I mean, Atlanta, Georgia, born in 1961. What were black folks doing? Going to church, praying, waiting on Jesus. I mean, we did the Nation of Islam. We did the Hare Krishna, brothers and sisters born Catholic. I mean, we did all the religions, and we believed in everything that we was told we should believe in, and we did it better than anybody else did it, black folks. And then we voted, the voting drive, we did all of that. We voted, and we need to get a new political representative in office in order to get things done, things changed. We did that all the way up to where we had a black president, something that most of us never imagined we would ever see in America.
Exactly.
Then we protested. I mean, we protested till we got tired, hungry, thirsty. We had to go in the house and eat and recuperate. Then we marched, and we marched until there was no more road to march on. And then today, they seating jurors for George Floyd. After all of that, we did. And so I have to say, bro, ain't nothing worked. Okay. We begged, we hollered, we screamed, we made signs. We did all of that. And today they seating jurors in the George Floyd case. And George Floyd, I'm just saying that because it was made international news. Now I'm in Israel. I've been in Israel for 40 years. This is 2021. I came in 1981, May 15th. I landed at 5:40 in the afternoon in Israel. 5:40, May 15, 1981. It's right now, March 14th. It's 3:07 in the morning here in Israel. And in roughly 2 more months, that'll be 40 years I've been here in Israel. And since I've been outside of America, I done lived in Africa, West Africa, North Africa, East Africa. And I spent some time in Europe, then I was back over in Canada for a hot minute. But the thing that I see is that my people the world over, especially in America, we're in dire straits because ain't nothing changed for us, brother. Ain't nothing really changed, And so,
go ahead. Yeah, I'm gonna tell you, like, granted, I wasn't around back then, you know, and if I was a young buck. But I go look at the pictures and the videos, it seemed exactly the same. Like the only difference is some of the pictures is in black and white. If you turn some of the pictures black and white, the pictures today, it's gonna look exactly the same, you know.
Exactly.
And it bothers me. It bothers me to see that again and again. And before you continue, I just want to let everybody know this is Nubian King. This is the OG. You know, this brother be contacting me and be putting me on game. You know, so this the OG. This my OG. You know what I'm saying? So yeah, I just wanted to put that out there. But go ahead, bro. Go ahead.
And so because these things that we're doing, you know, we've done it before. And the elders say that when somebody, you know, keep doing the same thing and they expect something to change, that's the definition of insanity. You keep doing the same thing over and over again and you're expecting something to change. All of the things that we've done as a people did not bring us, have not got us to a point where we as a people are able to live in comfort in this society. So that means we got to do something different. We got to do something totally, completely different than what we've done. And if anybody want to argue that, no, we need to pray more, we need to stay prayed up, we need to vote, we need to better education. For what? We've already done that. And so now what I'm looking at is a mindset amongst our people that we need to change. You know, I'm looking at a mindset because it's something with the way we as a people think, I believe, that has caused us to stay in the particular position that we are in. We have been tricked, duped, bamboozled, hoodwinked, got over, done up, and it's been going on for centuries. Now, a lot of our brothers and sisters, you know, see it. And I just point at, you know, Grandmaster Jay, you know, because I've heard a lot of negative comments about Grandmaster Jay. Now, Grandmaster Jay is not some individual.
Comments about Malcolm X and all the other
Martin
saying,
Luther King, Marcus Garvey, all of them.
So
yeah. And so what I would like to say is that Grandmaster Jay is not some trick flash in the pan, somebody that came in and hoodwinked people. Because you remember when he first started, you had to be a certain age. He wasn't dealing with young people. So that means these was brothers and sisters that been around, you know, they adults. And so, you know, they are brothers and sisters that actually felt the same way he did. Grandmaster Jay is an individual that came on the scene that he didn't hoodwink anybody. He represented what many people were feeling in their heart, something completely different and something we hadn't done. Now, we know the Panthers, their objective, feed the children, education, and protect us from what these bandits were doing, organized. And they realized then that you had to protect yourself, gun up, and the guns leveled the playing field. Grandmaster Jay, same understanding. Grandmaster Jay came and he simply is the physical representation of the spirit of what many brothers and sisters was already feeling. And so it was easy for him to get brothers and sisters to come out because the fact they were already feeling like that. He didn't have to trick anybody and pay anybody and twist anybody's arms because he came and said it. And so it was time. And now we can see the results of that. They have done every single powerful brother and sister that have came with a true way to bring positive, concrete change about our people done in the same way. They come up with some trumped up bullshiggity, some bullshiggity they done created out of thin air to shut them down. Same thing. And so by now, after all these years that we spent with this, white man and this system, I've said that on many occasions that we should be, black people should be white folks, masters, genius, meaning that we spend so much time with this bandit that we should be able to predict what he's thinking and what he's going to do even before he think it or do it. So we should be masters of the system by now. All of the time that we done spent with this guy and this woman, black people, especially in America, should be white people masters. And then our people, 2 million, our people still talking about, oh, I don't know why would he do that? I don't understand. I mean, you come on, seriously? He ain't showed you enough that he don't give a flying flip about you and all the crap we done been handed out time after time after time again, and we continue to fall for the same sucker game. Now, these brothers and sisters, I remember the day being 60. I remember when if you slept with the enemy, you couldn't be pro-black. Now, I remember that. I mean, come on now. You can stand out there and you can whoop, whoop all you want. But if you going home sleeping with one of them, you ain't going to have that kind of impact. Because we like, wait a minute now. When have you ever seen an enemy sleep in fellowship with the enemy and then you be all about it, but when it's over with, you with them? But today, seem like the chocolate girl get a pass. But this girl understand her husband is a white guy that is Jewish. And she, a chocolate girl, selected by an old white dude to work in the White House, governed by old white folks with a lot of money. And then you expect that person to do something for you when you had a black president and the LGBT community got raised up, got more juice, more platform, more power, more notice than we did as a people. And then you hear them talking about, the Asian community is being affected by this racism, the Asian, that they done made some kind of situation in the government where, the Asian people, with the Asian people, what about the black people? The reason is we haven't been able to really organize as a people because we always get old shot in us like Swiss cheese. We just they just had the movie out, what is Judas and the Black Messiah. Talked about showed how the brother was bought out. He was turned over by the feds. He was out faking, stealing cars, and they caught him and used him to spy on the brothers and sisters. I remember when I was in Miami, I went back to the States. And I was in Miami getting up one morning, news came on. And what caught my attention is on the news, they was talking about Martin Luther King. And I, started listening and come to find out what they was explaining is how the feds was able to get information on Dr. King. They had a plant. They had somebody inside Martin Luther King organization that had access to all the meetings and all the things that was going on, private strategy session and everything. And they were actually working for the Fed. That person was the photographer, the black guy.
And from my understanding, it was more than just a photographer.
Yeah, I'm telling you about one. You're right.
It was all around him, really. He was surrounded by it. Yeah.
I'm telling you about the one that they told about. And the reason why they came out and was telling about the photographer is he had died. You know, not too long before they had made that little interview. He was dead now. And so the point is that whenever we do come together as a people, and you see individuals that making power moves that's outside of the normal praying and begging and shouting and voting and writing letters, you know, and demanding justice, they come on us. Okay. All right. Now, for something different, okay. OC, the thing different that I'm looking at is the way our mind work, brother, you know, as a people. Okay, our issue is we as a Nubian race of brothers and sisters on this planet have been duped to dumbness. We have been duped to lack of knowledge. We have been duped to not even know who we are as a people and our powers and abilities. Now, I'm talking about an idea, a concept. I'm talking about something different that we as a people are strongly believe that we can do. And it's going to require us to stop getting caught up in the bullshiggity and concentrate and go inside of the space, the final frontier. That space in between our ears, better known as our brain, our heads.
Absolutely.
I'm talking about, you know, being able to tap into our power that we walk around with 24/7, and we haven't been actually brought into a higher consciousness of who we are. Now,
that's true.
I know a lot of people saw the movie Matrix, The Matrix. Okay.
One of my favorites, yeah.
That movie, the first one, The Matrix, was an incredible, I mean, incredible, I can't even say it enough, display of what the mind can do. That's just to put that movie together. Go ahead.
Right.
I'm sorry.
I was about to say that was created by our sister, you know, but yeah, go ahead. Yeah, you already know.
That's just to put that movie together. Yeah, Sophia Stewart. The sister was on point on another whole vibration. You know, you can't say that somebody just some regular writer just sit up and puts a movie like that together. The sister is vibrating on a whole different frequency. And for her to be able to put the visual representation of the power of the mind on the silver screen so you can sit there and actually witness it. OC, when I saw that movie, I was here in Israel. The first place I saw it was in this theater in Tel Aviv, Israel. And when I'm sitting there watching the movie, and I'm like, my mind is just blowing up of all the thoughts I was having. But what brought me to my feet, I'm telling you, what brought me to my literal feet is when they was in the construct and Morpheus said, stop trying to hit me and hit me. And then they would fight a little bit more. He said, I am trying to free your mind. OC, I jumped up in the theater. I'm like, man, that's what we got to do, you know. And people look at me like, what? Because, you know, you got Israelis in there, you got Ethiopians, you got Bedouins, you know, and some more brothers and sisters from America. I'm standing up in the movie. Man, that's what they try. No, we trying to do. I am trying to free your mind. Now, at that point, man, I was done. I was like, I couldn't hardly control myself. At this point, that is what I strongly believe we as a people are going to have to do. We will benefit as a people when we are able to get our minds from under this stupor that this heathen has put us in. Listen, this goes back hundreds of years. You remember, let me see, during slavery, the slave owners were having major problems with the brothers and sisters. Because the brothers and sisters knew this was not their land, not their language, not their culture. They knew they was brought here by force. They knew exactly who they were, who they are. They knew that. And so they fought that every single day. And they were so ruthless with it that the slave owners, especially in America, couldn't be at peace. But this one guy in the West Indies had found a way to be able to have peace with the slaves. I mean, not peace with the slave, but get the slave to a point where they wouldn't be so daggone ruthless fighting against him. And that heathen was named Willie Lynch. Okay, Willie Lynch. Willie Lynch was a slave owner in the West Indies that had found a way to get the slaves, in other words, order for them. And so the slave owners in America had heard about his success. So they invited him to come up and talk to them, to tell them, okay, now what is it that you've done to get these, slaves in order? So he went up in 1712. He had a meeting with them on the River James in Virginia. And he explained to them that in order to get these slaves in order, you're going to have to take control of their mind. And I have a set of principles that if you apply them, it could last for hundreds of years and it could regenerate itself. And so that's the day that he stood there and he talked with these heathen and he laid out a fundamental process of enslaving the slaves' minds to where you would have peace and your crops would be abundant and you could get greater work out of them. And he went on and laid out some heavy principles in doing that. And for those brothers and sisters that know about the Willie Lynch document, and those brothers and sisters that have read it, then you can see the situation with our people in that document, because he breaks down how to break the black, female slave, the black, male slave. And so he told these heathen that it was a long speech. He said, listen, out of everything that I said today, he said, if you all don't understand nothing else what I'm saying, the most important thing you must know and must understand is that these slaves must learn to love, trust, and respect only us. And he said that would last for hundreds of years. It would even reinvent itself. And look at our brother, Dr. Umar Johnson. How long he been trying to, gather up coins to make the Frederick Douglass Marcus Garvey School. Not for French people, not for Arabs, not for Italian, but for black people. How long he been out there struggling, trying to get a few coins to make a school for our own people? But then this white boy, Carl Rittenauer, go up and kill some people, go across state line, taken by his mother, and overnight they come up with $2 million in just a few days, a quick period of time. And so the point is what? The slave mentality, because instead of going out there and really helping the brother get the school together by throwing $2, $3, $4, $5 up, you talk about, oh man, we didn't live with all that money, I don't know, you got enough money. And so that's rooted in a mindset that is destructive to not only the individual as a person, but as a people and a nation. And so what I'm talking toward is the mindset of our people. We have to free our mind, like Morpheus was trying to free Neo's mind, so that we can get back to the power that we don't have to get shot by the bullets. We can stop the bullets because our mind will have the ability to take control of the individual with the gun and cause him not to even shoot. And this is what I'm talking about. That sister was showing us, brother, where we as a people have to get to, because we are duped constantly by our adversaries, even to this day. Those brothers and sisters that got degrees, that got all this money. Look at where we at as a people. But let's go back in history for another great example. 1920, Tulsa, Oklahoma. They called Black Wall Street. Greenwood Village.
100-year anniversary next month of that. Yeah.
I'm reading a book on that now, the Holocaust, Black Wall Street. And it's amazing, bro. Give you one thing. Those brothers and sisters had amassed so much wealth in the 1920s in Tulsa, Oklahoma, that white people, 1920, remember 1920, 20 years past the turn of the century.
Right after slavery.
Those,
down there.
Say that again? I'm sorry.
I said right after slavery down there, immediately after slavery, they had all of these beautiful things going on in the community. But go ahead. I don't mean to kill what you was about to say. Go ahead.
Those brothers and sisters had amassed so much wealth that the white people used to go into Black Wall Street and make loans from black people. White people used to go to white people used to go to black people to make loans in Black Wall Street. These brothers and sisters had amenities and luxuries that white people had only dreamed of, and some of them never even knew of. One thing is that silk was real, exclusive. And a lot of brothers and sisters used to wear silk every single day in Black Wall Street. In 1920, what's significant is that you had brothers and sisters that was in Black Wall Street, bro, that was in their 80s and 90s, years old. So if you're talking about 1920, those brothers and sisters were slaves. And as a slave, you didn't go to nobody college. As a slave, you couldn't read, you couldn't write, you couldn't get education. And so here it is, you 80 years old, and you walk around in Black Wall Street with all silk, and you got a business, and you're doing exceedingly well. You didn't have no Harvard school degree. You didn't have no business school, none of that. And you didn't even have money to start out with. But because our people could work together with each other, they put them coins together and they established a powerhouse that rivals everything we've done as a people collectively. Even to these days, we ain't came up with nothing like that. Now, the brothers and sisters down there in Georgia that, bought the land, the 19 families that went out to buy the land, and I heard some white folks were all upset about that. I mean, damn, you don't want us to be with you. Okay, so we're going to go and buy us some land and be with us, and you got a problem with that. So our people got to stop and take an internal look at how we think. Okay. Then understand, why is it that this individual has been so hell-bent on keeping us as a people separated and stuck on stupid? Because when you go back and look at the very reason why that first boatload of brothers and sisters that was brought into Americas to be slaves, they weren't not slaves on that boat. Those were kings and queens and powerhouses and dynasties and astrologers and thinkers and mathematicians and engineers and doctors and super intelligent brothers and sisters. They were brought into America and were beat into being slaves. And now, after hundreds of years, we sitting up as a people worshiping the white man named Jesus that looked just like him. Bro, I was back down in Africa, man. I went to this church, and the church had like 2,000-3,000 of the most beautiful, luscious black brothers and sisters. And I'm sitting in there and I'm looking, checking out everything. And nice service, powerful energy. Ooh, wow, the drums, man, they were doing it, boy. I'm like, whoa. Get caught up in here, man. I'm like, know, moving and rocking. I'm like, man, this is all right. You know, don't nobody do it like we do it. And then they got to talking about the pastor. Woo! I'm like, man, I'm kind of excited to see who the pastor is, man. We be cranking it up, man. I'm sitting there, I'm like, damn. You know, so anyway, we sitting there, man. I'm about sweating, boy, because the brothers and sisters got me worked up. Boy, you ain't, you know, anyway. All right. They talking about the pastor, and I'm thinking to myself, Shazam, who is this guy? Might be Jesus coming up here where these brothers and sisters acting. Lo and behold, the pastor, he bust out on stage, and he's a white. I'm like, oh, what? And then there's this big old picture of Jesus in the back of the choir up on stage. Big, huge picture. You know, it's got to be big because this joint we in is like humongous, right? He walks up on stage. They got the cameras and the big videos. So I'm looking in the video. I'm saying, wait a minute. He looked just like the picture of Jesus behind him. I'm like, damn. Now I'm like, whoa, do you see this?
Whole game. Yeah.
It's got to be, I'm just estimating 2,000 beautiful black brothers and sisters in this church in West Africa. And the preacher's a white dude, okay, but he ain't just a white dude, but he looked just like the picture of Jesus they got hanging on the wall behind him. Another incident, I'm in Ethiopia. Ethiopia has a church that's real famous, that's underground. They done built this church. It's in rocks, it's in the stones underground, and they done built this church down there. And you know, it's hot and everything. And you know, first thing you go down there, it's cool, it feel good. I said, man, it feel good down here. It's nice and cool. But as we touring around the church and the Ethiopian brother is showing us everything, they got pictures of Jesus hanging up. Like before you go, you got to go down into the hallway and you get to the end, make a left in this big room you go into. That's where they do the worship. And so they got a picture of Jesus hanging up in the hallway. And then another one inside the place, and one by the back wall, and it's 4 pictures of Jesus down there. Every single person is different. So when we show up, you know, we see the pictures are different guys. All these pictures is Jesus, but they different. And so, you know, we asked the brother about it. You know, here we go. You know, we ain't gonna let this slide. Say, hey, brother, let me ask you something. These pictures of Jesus, right? Oh, yeah. Your picture, yeah, Jesus Christ. Oh, Jesus Christ, our Lord and Savior. That's okay. Well, let me ask you this. That picture and this picture, are these the same men or are they different men? And you can plainly see they different. And he looked and he, well, you know, this picture is Jesus. I said, well, these two and these. So we showed this brother and we asked him, are these different men? And he stood there because he could see they was different men. And so we said, look, how is it that we talking about one Jesus and all 4 of these pictures are 4 different white men? How can you explain that? He said, well, you know, the picture was given to us by tourists that came from Europe and they wanted to donate something to our church. And he went on like that. And so one of the brothers with us, you know, Pan-African, you know, understood the scriptures and you know, my hair is woolly and my, you know, ruddy and my skin is brass and all of this. So he breaks out his Bible and he go to that scripture and give the description of the Savior that's not white. And so he asked the brother, the Ethiopian brother, do you agree with that? He said, yeah, that's the Bible. That's the word of God. So he said, well, if his hair is woolly, his hair should look like mine. And you like yours. So the brother broke it down real smooth. And then he said, okay, I want to donate you a picture of Jesus.
Right.
He said, okay, my brother.
I said, yeah. No, I was like, come on now. Yeah. We need
the brother
faces up in there. But yeah, go ahead.
Absolutely. The brother was real smooth. You know, he laid it out real smooth. He read the Bible, the ruddy, the hair, the foot, the brass, and all this. And then he said, okay. And the brother, he said, yeah, you're right. That's the word of God. So he slides the picture up. He said, I'm a tourist, right? And I want to donate something to the church, right? He said, yeah. So he said, I want to give you a picture of Jesus. He said, okay. When he flipped it around, it was a black man. Good God Almighty. Don't matter. That brother stood there, and you ain't seen no black metamorphosis take place until you saw this Ethiopian brother go through all the colors of the rainbow. And he nervous, he looking, and he, you know, and I'm saying, look at it, killing him, you know. And so he said, let's hang the picture on the wall right here, because this is the picture of Jesus according to the scriptures in the Bible. So how can you say that's Jesus, and you got 4 different guys, all look different, and don't none of them look like what's written in the Bible? Then the brother, he said, I got to check with the, we got it. Now all this certification before he can put that picture on the wall of the black Jesus. So I'm laying that out to say many, many other things that our people know. We're not stupid. We're not no dumb people by no sense of the word. Many things that our people know that have already showed of our greatness as a people. In Egypt, the Sphinx, when I went down there, I've been to Egypt too. And you see the nose of the Sphinx missing. How did that happen? When Napoleon Bonaparte went down there and his soldiers, and he saw, the greatness of what Africa was doing before the European even had streets or lights and cities or any order. Africa was well developed, highly superior. We had street lights, we had sewage system, we had houses, we had all of these things going in Africa before the white man even got up out of the cave good. So when he went into Africa, he was extremely jealous of what he saw. And by the time he went over there and saw them humongous Sphinx, he commanded his cannon to blow the nose off. That's how that nose got missing. That's historical reference. And why is it that these people have such a problem with us today? With this generation of white people has a multitude of issues. Number one, they have their own lack of self-confidence going on. They have their incredible jealousy and envious of the great accomplishment of black people. It was a white boy in Chicago. I don't forgot it. The book. But I'm sure if we find it, this white dude, this young white guy, put together a book of black inventions. For those of you all that remember, the telephone directory was the thickest book. And they always say the book that this white boy put together, Black Inventions in the United States of America, was thicker than the Chicago phone directory of all of the incredible things that we have accomplished and contributed to this planet. Let's not even talk about the great brother George Washington Carver, just one. The sister that became the first multimillionaire. They did a movie on her, Octavia. Sister Octavia played her, Madam C.J. Walker. So we can go on and on of the great accomplishment that brothers and sisters have given to this world, even under the foot of slavery. One of the greatest alcohols on the planet, every single country have Jack Daniel, actually put together by Nefarious Green, a slave that was up there in Tennessee, that this white boy was making this sour mash that was killing people and was just absolutely terrible, until the brothers say, hey, I know somebody that can help you out with that. And this brother, Nefarious Green, and when you read his name, it looked like Near East. And the way they pronounce it was Narius Green. And he was a master distiller, and he the one that showed Jack Daniel how to make this liquor. And to this day, the number one most famous popular drink on planet Earth is Jack Daniels.
Right. And I'll tell you this one, because we created a lot of things, from street lights to the microwave I challenge you with this one. Name something that white people created by themselves.
Racism, pain, suffering, destruction, strife, chaos, foolishness, confusion.
Okay,
you said one thing. I'm sorry. I'm sorry. You said one thing. Racism. They created racism. I'm sorry. I didn't.
Name something good. My bad. You're right. But name something good.
something good that white people have done for the planet Earth?
Right, for the planet Earth. Man, I mean, you got quiet. Enough said, you know.
I think the mic went out.
Right.
Something good that white people have done and created on their own without stealing from black people.
Right.
That's beneficial for the entire planet Earth.
Mm-hmm.
You got me. I can't think of nothing at that level right now.
Yeah. I mean, I couldn't think of nothing, you know. It's only right that I asked the OG if he could think of something, but you know, I guess it's nothing. You know, I guess it's nothing. Which is crazy.
And I'm seriously looking because I don't want, you know, I mean, it may be somebody in your audience that know.
I mean, I challenge anybody. I challenge anybody, you know, something that they created that the whole world benefited from, you know. So, I mean, I say that to say these are the people that's running planet Earth, you know. So it's like, if we are the creators, if you are the gods of this earth, the ones that fully created every single thing that we use, from technology to, I mean, we can even go today when it comes to what they are, when it comes to entertainment, we could go to that level. Like, what would entertainment be without us? You know, from sport to music, you know, to so many different things. What would it really be without us? Even the way they talk, you know, they didn't marketed our slang and everything. I be seeing white women today that literally look like black women with big lips, big hips, you know, big everything. They looking like the Aunt Your Mama bottle, you know. Mm-hmm. And they go to get that paid for. They go to the doctor and like, give me all that melanin stuff, that give me all of that. You know what I'm saying? So they literally are taking everything from us, our likeness and everything, which is crazy, you know. And then you go to Africa. I'm pretty sure you know about this, brother. You know the number one selling thing in Africa?
What's that?
One of the number one selling things in Africa, as far as like you know, the skincare and stuff like that, is skin bleach.
Mm-hmm.
You know?
Yep.
And
Caribbeans too.
Mm-hmm. We too busy trying to have the mindset that they have, and they too busy trying to be like us. You know, it's backwards. You know, we thinking like slave master, and they thinking like the guys that we used to be, or at least trying. Mm-hmm. You know, so it's amazing. We really got to the point where, you know, we really gotta like do a reset on our brain. You know, we really gotta take everything back and just kind of like detox on everything that's going on, and surround ourselves around, you know, correct knowledge. You know what I'm saying? So I'm all about, at this point, I'm all about unity. You mentioned the brother Umar Johnson. There's a lot of people out there that don't even like Umar Johnson. You know what I'm saying? For whatever reason, you know, that's talking about how he's dealing with the money and stuff like that. But the brother got a good, I'm gonna say the brother got a good mouthpiece. He know what he's talking about, and I'm for what he's doing. And that's what we need. We do need the school. So why not have a brother like that actually running the school? You know, or why not, you know, let's just say, even if you don't trust the brother with the money, why not be on the team with him and to help him build something? That way, you know, if you have the funds or whatever, you know, you right next to him, you can be able to see everything that he do, you know, to make you feel comfortable to actually build something that the people need. You know what I mean? So we really like missing out on that piece, which is the unity piece. You know, Grandmaster Jay said something that caused a ripple just recently. Said we too busy worrying about me. We just need to flip that W around and turn it into we. flip that M around and turn it into we. You
Right.
know, so from me to we really need to focus on us together. You know, we so separatist. You know, we get into a stage where like I just want to get it for myself. You know, and then and not really realizing what we're saying, because if we are separate, then it's easy to take us down. It's so simple to take us down if we are separate. But if we all get together and actually have real unity, you know, and kind of like the brothers and sisters did in the Tulsa, Oklahoma, you know, so I'm pretty sure they had a huge unity piece just to come together and have these restaurants, these taxi cabs, these banks, and these schools, and pretty much everything we could think of. I mean, like it literally sounds like a fantasy, right? To have a whole black land and full of black people, black workers, black, all black, everything, like for real. You know, it sounds like a fantasy, but they was actually doing it. But I would say one thing that they was missing was the actual military to protect all of it. You know,
Exactly.
That's the one thing that they was missing. But you know, we in this special time now. You know, because like you said, we tried everything. But it's a couple of things we haven't tried. You know what I mean? And that's my interest. We don't have to talk about it, but that's my interest. The things that we haven't tried. You know, so and that's what make me, you know, feel good about people like or the entity such as InFact and other organizations like that. You know what I'm saying? A black militia. I mean, that's very lawful. You know, it's written that if the government start tripping, it's lawful for a militia to say to pull up and say, hey, things need to change. You know? And that's a lawful thing. But of course it just look different when someone of our color skin do it. It just feels it's a whole different feeling, you know, that they don't want. But at the end of the day, you know, we all gotta get in this real survival mode. You know what I mean? Because they've been in the survival mode. You know, this is the type of race that's not gonna last forever. You know what I'm saying? So they deep in survival mode. They doing whatever they got to do. I can't really blame them for that. They doing whatever they got to do to survive. You know what I'm saying? So they keeping a foot on our necks. You know what I mean? I mean, we just have to step up to the table. You know, but one thing that we really have to do first is just build unity. We really have to build a code, live by the code, and start to get tangible things and start to really get to the table. You know what I'm saying? Because everybody else at the table but us. You know. So, but once we get to the table, we're able to really do what we need to do. Go ahead, bro.
I wanted to, you know, at this time offer a suggestion and to a solution, you know, because we laid out a lot of powerful facts about the reality that we're dealing with. And a lot of times, you know, we speak about the problem, the cause, what's going on, and that has to be done because a lot of our people need to know why we need to change. What I want to talk about now is the mind, you know, changing our minds, because this is where he has focused an incredible amount of his energy in capturing our mind. What is so powerful about our mind is that this element, this organ that we have called the pineal gland. The pineal gland is right in the back base of your brain. That's right in your brain. And that pineal gland, what is the key? Okay. When these brothers and sisters was coming out of Vietnam, and you know, as you're a soldier, you property of the U.S. government under the auspices of the military. So they was doing autopsies, and they found out that the European pineal gland was calcified, rock, stony. And then the brothers and sisters' pineal gland was still in its original state, the flesh. Now, the pineal gland, what is special about the pineal gland? Okay, that the pineal gland is that gland that unique ability to transfer thought energy into physical energy that connects you to the creation, which means that you can have thoughts as a Nubian melanated brother and sister. And that thought will go out into the creation. And based upon what you're thinking, it will cause the creation to conform to your thoughts. In the movie, when the sister wrote that part, when Neo got shot, and they had asked the question, if you get killed in the Matrix, do you die here in the real world? They said, yes, because your mind makes it real.
Mm-hmm.
And when after he got shot, how did he get past that? The woman. You see, you cannot never leave our sisters out of this elevation. We can't do this by ourselves. We need our women to be in harmony with us. So as we elevate our minds, we got to elevate our sisters at the same time, because that is the key to harmony between me and she. It was when she kissed him in the real world that caused him to come back to life in the Matrix, because her love was so great for him. It brought him back to life. So my point is, when we disconnect from all this bullshit that we're smothered in our minds, and begin to go into our head game and focus on increasing the power of the pineal gland. Now, the pineal gland can take your thought energy and convert it into physical energy. As an example, there have been times where you have thought about a person and then the phone rang. It's them on the lights. Man, I was just thinking about you. We didn't even realize at that moment we had sent the thought out into the creation, and that person picked it up and was motivated to call you. You did that. And so what we have to do, we have to begin to focus on developing that ability to where we can do that at will. And then that's how we get to not being shot by the bullets, but controlling the person with the gun. And you don't have to get shot by the bullets. You can stop the bullets. And all of these things that are taking place in the earth, those individuals that can understand what I'm saying, we're here now today that are opening up the gateway to the elevation and activation of the pineal gland at the level that we were activated in Egypt. During the time that we was dwelling in Egypt, there were many things that we brought to earth. Physical. We rearranged the ground. We rearranged the dirt, those things that are eternal. We even put writings on certain stones that we knew would last for eons, the emerald tablets. And we gave this knowledge, but the most powerful critical information, we did not put it in physical form. We put it in energetic consciousness. We placed it in the ether. The ether is that element that's all over this planet that vibrates at a certain frequency. We placed that information there for these days, that there will be those that will come and unlock the gateway to this knowledge and understanding, and cause those individuals that can hear to begin to change their movements on this planet, that they would be able to tap into this knowledge in the ether. What we did in Egypt was a decoy. They say that they burnt the books of the Library of Alexandria. Not true. Many writing was placed in Alexandria. They went in and extracted the critical knowledge that would help them perpetuate their agenda. The rest of the books they burned, and they lied and told the world they burned all the books of Alexandria. But those critical books, information, are in the catacomb under the Vatican on the mountain in Vatican City. But even that is not the information that I'm speaking to you all today, the most critical information that have the greatest wisdom, knowledge, and understanding is in the ether, put there for those Nubian brothers and sisters in these days that will do the things that they need to do to elevate their consciousness to where they can tap into the ether and download this information. Now, the pineal gland is that physical element in your body that you will have to activate to a higher frequency. The process of doing that is going to be that you need to clean your physical flesh. You need to clean your physical flesh. There is a process of cleansing, and many people out there that are interested, you have individuals that health nuts or people that know how to use certain herbs and food to cleanse your flesh. You got to get out all the poison, toxin, impurities that you possibly can. And once that's done, you have to maintain dietary standards that is conducive for optimum physical operation, meaning you got to eat proper diet, which is basically fruit, grains, and nuts. Then once you achieve that physical state of cleanliness and harmonious, then you begin to do certain mental exercise to increase your brain power. As one, here's one. You can take a glass of water and put water in it and sit in the middle of the table. Take all the items off the table, and you do this. You need to do this at a time period where you don't have any distraction. You don't have any noise. You turn your cell phones off, the TV, the music, and everything, and try to get into a place that you can achieve total quiet. And you look at that glass and you move it in any direction, slide it left, right, up, and down. And you practice this until you get to a point where you can focus and make that glass move. Now, I know what I'm saying sounds to some people absolutely bat crazy, but I did this with my children, and my youngest was 4 years old. And I told the children, I said, come on, y'all, we're going to look at this glass and make it move. They looked at me like, what? I took everything off the table, put the glass in the center of the table, and I said, all my children around the table, I said, we're going to look at this glass and make it move. The reason why none of those children said anything or acted like they didn't believe it is because they was too young to have been told you can't do it. You see, the people nowadays don't believe they can do it because they've been convinced they can't do it. And so these children and I sat at that table, and we just concentrated. I don't know how long. We wasn't focused on the time, but I can tell you, great brother, the glass didn't move, but the water vibrated. And when it did, I'll never forget my children. Whoa! But look, did you see that? I'm like, man, I'm looking myself. I'm like, whoa, the water actually moved. So then we began to do other things. My 4-year-old could meditate better, as good as any adult. And my oldest daughter, she got so good in meditation, she would sit on the arm of the couch. She'd get up on the couch and get in her position. And these were children doing this. Why? No one had never told them they couldn't do it. And to this day, you should see these children as adults. They are movers and shakers. All of them served in the Israeli military. All of them did exceptionally well. All of them became officers. 2 of them are aircraft engineers in the Israeli Air Force, sergeant, commanders, a platoon of engineers. I was never proud to see one day they had the open house and all the parents could come to the Air Force base. And my son, 17 years old, aircraft engineer, F-16 and F-15, specialized in the powers, the engine, was standing up there with all those Israelis, explaining to them in Hebrew about this aircraft engine. Damn near brought tears to my eyes. 17 years old. And you know, America and Israel have an incredible relationship, and military is one. Most people don't even know the power of Israel technology. And so all of this hardware is American hardware, but all the software, the program, the computer work is done by the Israelis. And when my son, when they ended up the open house, you know, we was talking with him and he said, you know what, Abba is a father in Hebrew. He said, you know, when the Americans come, they always be just overwhelmed of the fact that, you know, we're so young. And he said that, you know, most of them is only 17, 18, 19-year-old children flying all this hardware around, programming all this military stuff. And you know, he said Americans, they can't even get over the fact that they so young. They children. And in Israel, if you don't know, they like number one in the sky. America trained with them, but these are just babies. And so my daughter, same thing. She was an aircraft engineer also, but they grew up with a father that understood the ether, that understood the power of the mind, that understood the pineal gland and taught it to my children. And so now, why am I saying this at this time? Because there are other brothers and sisters that can benefit. We need you. We need you to clean your system up. One thing that is a chemical that's detrimental to the operation of the brain is fluoride. Fluoride causes the brain vibration, the brain energy to be rescinded, reduced, which means that they could stand up and tell you that this hamburger that you're eating is nothing but chemical, and you keep eating it because you've been programmed to think in your mind it's good for you. Because your brain function is so low that you don't even realize you're not even thinking. The average human brain vibrate at a frequency between 70 and 78 megahertz. All they have to do is lower your brain vibration and they could get over you with anything. Why is it that I come back to America after 25 years and I see my sisters, my queen, my sexy, beautiful, delicious, chocolate, incredible, only woman on this planet, proud to be called a whore because they have lowered your vibration to where now they can program and pump anything into you. So we got to get beyond that. The food that they're pumping into you causes your vibration to slow down. The sounds that you're hearing, the colors that you're hearing, the smells that you're smelling, the things that go on in your skin, every single thing your adversary does is focus on causing your brain to come from that higher state of vibration to a lower baseless state so he can conquer you. He cannot ascend to those heights because the fact that his pineal gland is calcified, and he know that. He know that. He's the one that was doing all the autopsies and found out about the pineal gland. And all he needed to do was to keep us from finding out we have the mental power to stop those bullets, just like the sister put out there in the movie. So what I'm talking about is getting to a state of mental power that you can literally control your environment and everybody that yields. I ain't talking about you need a gun. I'm talking about you need a mind to control the dude that's holding the gun. That's what I'm talking about. And it starts with cleaning your flesh and hanging out with people like you, me, and others that can help you to understand how to get your vibration up. You take certain things that we have available to us on this planet. Like I said, the human brain operates between 70 and 78 megahertz. Then your thyroid gland between 62 and 68, your lungs between 58 and 65, your liver between 55 and 60. So these are frequencies that the body function on. Now we have other things available to us that can assist you with that. One thing, we have essential oils like the oil lavender. It vibrates at 118 megahertz. Another one, this myrrh, that's very popular. It vibrates at 105 megahertz. So when you use these things, they will help to elevate your vibration to cause all system in your body to function better. Even the human body has a basic vibratory frequency between 62 and 68. That's when you put it all together. you got to make sure that you vibrating higher than that and using things to bring that vibration up. Like you say, the tomato, something for the tomato when we're talking about the diet. Once you get your system clean, why is it so important to consume proper sources of nutrition? Now we're at a point, OC, great brother OC, our people, we have to let our people know that we're at a time period where we have to be more concerned about the nutritional value of the foods we eat than to just eat stuff that we like. Because those of us now that are inspired after hearing this want to go to that higher level of vibration. Now you begin to understand why. Now you take a tomato. A tomato, when you pick it off the vine, say you pick it off the vine green, and you can sit it in the windowsill and it turn from green to red. Why does it turn from green to red? Because there's a process of photosynthesis taking place that the sun is vibrating the atoms in the tomato that's causing tomato to actually increase its frequency. And once it's reached a certain frequency, it turns from green to red. Now that frequency at red, that red color is the color that let the human eye know it is ready to eat because it's vibrating at its higher frequency. And so when you consume that tomato, it causes your frequency to increase. Now, when you come in at the end of your day, maybe you worked and you had all your activity and you feel a little tired and you need to, we've been put in a cycle of eating. But the things that we eat at the end of the day are things that are dead, like flesh. So people that eat flesh at the end of the day, when you come in and you're tired and you want to rest and rejuvenate, and you sit down to a meal of dead animal that have blood and poison, toxin, impurity that's been cooked, and there's no life, no energy, no vibration, you already tired and you need to be rejuvenated, and you sit down and consume dead flesh. What is happening? You are taking even more energy to process that dead flesh through you, and it's taking away more energy from you. And that's why, we used to laugh because black folks used to eat and sleep. That's what was taking place. We were eating the wrong thing. And so just the opposite, when you come in and you eat that tomato that's vibrating at its higher frequency, what it's doing, it's replenishing the energy that you exerted during the day. And then you eat more vegetable, more fruits. And that causes your body to what? Go back up to the higher level of vibration to recharge you, rejuvenate you. And then once you adhere to these basic fundamental physical realities that cause your body to function at its optimum level, what'll happen is you will begin to receive the knowledge that's laid out in the ether. And generally, and the reason why I say generally, because for some brothers and sisters, it happen at different times. It actually can happen at any time. You can get this knowledge at any time, 24/7. There's no concrete time that the information will come to you. Each individual plug in at their own time. Generally, reason why I say generally, because in the morning hours after you have rested through the night, your body between the hours of 10 p.m. and 2 in the morning, that's when your body releases those rejuvenating energies. And so it's good to try to get into bed by 9 o'clock so that you can already be in your sleep state when 10 o'clock hit. And so between 10 and 2, your body is rejuvenating itself. All the good food that you've digested, now that energy is being distributed throughout the system that causes your body to vibrate real good. Now, after that 2 o'clock period, for the next hour or two, your body is humming, and then information from the ether come down. That's why a lot of people say early in the morning, I've had these thoughts and I had these dreams, I had these visions. When I lay my head on the pillow early in the morning, stuff come to me. That is what happened. I'm simply telling you about the process to increase it. You understand? And see, these things are what they don't want you to know. That's why they're telling you, oh, no, well, you know, Dr. Sabi. Why you think they killed Dr. Sabi? Why you think they killed all these natural healers? They would even kill me from saying this to you.
It's big business.
Because they know who we are, brother. 400 years of slavery and all this. When they was doing these experiments, they found out that they are no way in shape, form, or fashion can stand in the same space with us when we are at our optimum operating temperature and frequency. That's it. So you got to start cleaning your system. You got to. You can't do this, you know, all full of poison, toxin, impurities. So I'm talking about a solution. I'm talking about something totally unorthodox that we as a people haven't been introduced to, and that's the space in between your ears. That's your own mind, your own thought. Why is it that the porn industry is a $5.67 billion industry? Why is it that our big, beautiful sisters is walking around with these thick booties and shaking all over the place, and brothers want to get out there? And why is it that these songs and all this, you know, the most popular song is just some of the most disgusting, degrading, demeaning? This sister, not Nicki Minaj, but what's that sister? The Hispanic girl. I like Cardi it like B. That.
Cardi B.
She got this song out. Man, I was in the gym working out today. I'm in Israel, and it was like, whoa. I'm like, damn. I mean, I'm sitting there and listening to the song. I'm like, damn, am I still in Israel? You know, but I'm like, these are the most popular songs, man, amongst our people. But when I was coming up, bro, you know, we was back there when the rap, I was a DJ. I mean, I'm a professional DJ. You know, I can scratch make and all that. We was coming up, don't push me. I'm close to the edge. I'm trying not to lose my head. You know, we was coming up where I'll always love my mother. You know, we had powerful songs, man, you know, that gave us inspiration and hope. And when we go in, we could listen to beautiful song. Can I take you out tonight? Don't care if I get, you know, we listen to a song. What's going on? Ooh, what's going on? Nowadays, we talking about it popping and dropping and wet and sucking and all of this. And then we got the bodies all just all over the place. And listen to this, man. What the hell? Why? But now I'm gonna tell you something, and we're not gonna go into it. But the individual that controlled the rap industry in the United States of America is a tall Jew boy. His nickname, they call him the tall Jew. He controls the rap industry. And I'm gonna just put that out now, and we can get into that later.
Trust.
But why is it that the African American music industry in America is controlled by a Jew? I'm just drop that right there. We can get at that later. But what are we talking about? They're focusing, they targeting the mind. They targeting our people brains. Why? Because they know that melanin, they know that pineal gland is so, the melanin, they already know it is the number one indestructible item on earth. And the Chinese at the beginning of the corona situation, the Chinese told the truth. The Chinese said black people have a certain immunity against this virus because of their skin. That's what the Chinese were saying in the beginning. What was they talking about? It's the melanin in our skin that give us that dark pigmentation, and the Chinese knew it, and the Chinese said black people have a certain immunity. But then when you look in the beginning, it was all over Europe and America and white people. You didn't have nothing going on down in Africa. And I'm like, man, wonder what's going on in Africa. Nothing. And then you didn't hear about black people in America. And I'm thinking to myself, if I know this guy the way I do, that's going to change. Sure enough, now they run around talking about, oh, you know, black people disproportionately affected by corona because of their health and all of this, that. You know, good googly boo. So we got to deal with this head game, bro. We got to get out from under all these chemicals, all this crap like that. I went to a doctor's office in Texas when I was over there. And when I walked in there, it was a chiropractor office. I was getting an adjustment. I believe in chiropractic medicine. It wasn't a doctor because I was sick. I just wanted to get adjustment because, you know, I lift weights and work out and you need to do that. But anyway, they had on the receptionist desk, they had a McDonald's cheeseburger and order of fries just sitting there under a little cover. It wasn't hermeneutically sealed. You know, it was just a little glass case, small enough. In the burger, and it had a little sign on the outside that said this burger cheese was bought on this particular date, and it was like two years earlier, and no decay, no molding, and it looked basically like they had just bought it before I came in there, but it was 2 years old. Now, I remember this story where this young boy was working in McDonald's, and he was working to fry the vat, you know, fries and chicken nuggets and things like that. And he had to go in the back to get some more. So in the process of dumping them in the grease, one fell on the side and it rested there on the side, that metal, you know, stainless steel, and it's hot, you know, and the boy went in the back to get some more, another bag. When he got back, the chicken McNugget that was sitting on that hot metal, it melted. And when he came back, he said, what the hell? It had melted into a glob of yellow, gooey, sticky like stuff. It was a chicken McNugget. And I never forgot this. They fired that boy because he told about it, and he got on the news media that this chicken McNugget melted into a glob of yellow, gooey, sticky like stuff. Mm-hmm. And they fired him. Now, these were chicken McNuggets, brother. Yeah. See, this scientist, this Frankenstein had figured out the chemical construct of certain things that they can mix these chemicals up, and they know the construct of grease and the temperature and what those atoms are doing. And then they know how to take other atoms and whoop it up. And when you throw it in the grease, it comes out looking, tasting, has the texture of a chicken McNugget, but it's all chemicals. And the boy in his talking about it revealed that he's just chemicals. Chicken don't melt into a gob of yellow gooey stuff. And so my point is what? We are under immense attack. And they're attacking the very thing that give us our power, our mind. And they're using these chemicals and different elements to slow down our mental capabilities. And that's what we have to get back to, my brother, in order to get around these heathens. We got to get our minds back. That's what we have to do. You know, that's the key. Yeah. You know, no more protesting, no more voting, no more praying, no more begging. We got to spend our energy on reconnecting to who we are as a created God on this planet. Like you say, peace to the gods. Now we're talking God talk. Now, this is what gods talk to other gods about that causes you to come up to the level of being a god. See, you started out talking about it. Peace to the gods, peace to the gods, peace to the God, 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 peace to the God. What is that? A rhythm. Peace to the God.
Mm-hmm.
What's that? A rhythm. What's that? Peace to the gods. Peace to the God. What's that? A vibration. Peace to the God. It's an energy. Peace to the gods. Peace to the God. Now you got me on here breaking this down at a level that many people have never even heard before. That's how you manifested this. You called down an angel up out of Egypt to come and say, hey, you got to get your flesh right. You got to get cleaned out. You got to get that glass and stare at it. I don't give a flying flip who say you crazy as bat bug. They on some bullshit. You sit there and you make that glass move. You keep doing it until you get it to move. And I guarantee you it's going to move. And then you're going to start seeing all manner of things happen positive for you. If you believe, and you got to believe. The things that you've done already that you didn't even realize it was you doing it. Now your great brother is coming telling you how to go about doing it with no fear. Peace to the gods, peace to the gods, peace to the God, peace to the God. God taught, God's giving God's information to be gods and goddesses. We can't leave our sisters because they are very instrumental and very key in this elevation. Why is it that they have played such an incredible wedge in between the family unit? Why is that? Because they knew that the harmony between the brother and sister is one of the greatest keys to manifesting this power. That's why when that girl kissed that boy and it brought him back to life, if she had never done that, he'd have died and wasted away. So the point is, all this stuff that we talking, you got to turn around and chop it up with the woman that you're in love with. Because once you get to a point to where you and her are vibrating, peace to the God, peace to the God, peace to the gods, you can come home and sit down and talk with yourself, because she is a physical representation in the feminine form of you, and you are the masculine representation of the masculine form of her. Because when the Creator created in the garden, he didn't create two people. He created one person that had two parts, a male and a female. How we know that? And I put this to these ultra-Orthodox Jews in Jerusalem. I asked them, when the Creator said, let us make man in our image, who was he talking to? And these the ultra-Orthodox, Bokito Shalom to Oavinu Asher Nim Sabashamayim Elohei Avraham Yitzchak. These is the Orthodox reading the book in Hebrew and all this, walking around, got the whole world thinking they all holy and thou. I asked them, experts on the scriptures, the Hebrew scriptures, who was he talking to when he said, let us make man in our image? And I asked him, who was he talking to? This is like in the beginning of the book. You ain't even got to nothing else. You right here in the first page of Genesis talking about who was he talking to. And they, I stop. Hold up. Listen, let me tell you. He was talking to our female goddess mother. He was talking to the woman. Now they want to debate that. Wait a minute, hold up. You can't tell me the answer to my question, but you want to debate when I tell you the answer that you don't know. I said, let me explain it to you. He was talking to our mother, the goddess. And the way you know that is just look at the answer, look at the image that he created, because the statement was, let us make man in our image. Okay. How do you know he was talking to our mother? Look at the image that he created. He created male and female. Let us make man in our image. Us meaning us meaning plural, our meaning plural. So that means he was talking to somebody else. And then they never explained who the somebody else was. Who was he talking to? Well, I'm the one that came along and told him he was talking to our mother, our goddess mother. And the way you know that is look at the image that he created. It was male and female. In English, they say Adam and Eve. In Hebrew, it's Adam v'Chava. Adam v'Chava. And Adam, the word Adam, the root word of that is Adamah. Adamah is dirt. The man that was created from the dirt. Adam v'Chava. And so that man was created and also inverted a portion into the female, but it was still him. And that's behind the power that I speak of every time. We cannot leave our sisters out of this because we can't never separate from ourselves. How you gonna be by yourself and you always with you? You can't do that. And so if I invite you to dinner, I don't have to say, and bring your wife. You automatic. How you gonna come? I invited you to dinner. How you gonna not show up? You come and leave yourself. No. That don't work. Hey, bro, look, let's chop it up tonight, 7 o'clock. Come on by and we'll do dinner. I ain't got to tell you and bring your wife. She already automatically coming. You don't go nowhere without her. And so that's another key to unlocking this power. You, your loved one, has got to be in harmony with this. You can't be sitting there looking at the jar and your wife walking around clowning on the phone, talking bullshit it to some knucklehead about nothing, and you trying to concentrate. How that's gonna work? You see, it ain't gonna work. I told you, you have to get to a point where you quiet and everything's in harmony, and you looking at that glass. So how you gonna do it if she ain't on the other side? If you single and you and her together, she back there talking to Tamika about some bullshit nothing, and you trying to concentrate. Oh, girl, what you looking at? And you up there trying to concentrate. It ain't gonna work. So everybody got to be on code, like you say, on code, on point. All us have to be together with this, male and female. Back there in the Panthers, you had sisters out there with them guns. NFAC got sisters out there with them guns. Our sisters want to be in this. Bring them on inside. The problem with this world is it's so off balance that they have never given our mother goddess a platform to operate on. That's why this world is so effed up now, because you got all these males running around here packed full of testosterone trying to show who got the biggest Johnson between the legs. Nigga, we knew you got a Johnson before you even did. We need these women up in these things because, first of all, the woman natural instinct is going to be protect the family, children, family. So when you bring the woman into the negotiation, she gonna be quick not to go to war because them innocent babies gonna get killed. And so what do? The sister gonna show up and bring the cake, the pies, the cookies, the water, and say, hey, let's eat first. And get all these crunked up men relaxed. And now we can get to some proper negotiation, and we can solve this peacefully without it going to war. That's how powerful this is. So whatever we do, we cannot do this without our sisters. There's no other woman in this earth that was created by this creator with his hand, this black, beautiful, chocolate, Nubian, incredible, fine, foxy, sweet, tender, loving, morsel of a female, delicious, organic sister. Ain't nothing on the world like it. Every single man on earth want a sister.
Come on now.
What were they doing back in slavery, bro? When they were putting their little pencils in Becky and Janice and them girls, and then they went out there and touched them sisters and got up in there and felt all that energy. He knew he hadn't had nothing and couldn't do without it.
Like, what is this? Is this heaven? Is what heaven feel like?
Whoa!
Yeah.
This is what's going on. Presidents had slaves.
Man.
And then they won't come out of bed once. They don't want you to know they loving that chocolate organic energy. And now we got to take advantage of what's available to us. That's our flesh. She's created for us. And us got to get together, bro. We gotta get this back together, man. That's half our head over there. Out there twerking and shaking her butt and showing the whole world her goodies. That's half of me over there.
Yeah.
We got to get our head game right. That's the solution. Other than that, man, we can just stick our head between our legs and kiss our butt goodbye. Other than that, ain't nothing gonna change. We done prayed, bro. We done voted. We done begged. We done did all of that. And it ain't worked. If it had worked, they would not be looking for a jury for the George Floyd case. If it had worked, Trayvon Martin would still be alive. Breonna Taylor and all the rest of them. If it had worked, try something different. Clean your body up. And let's concentrate on that glass. That's the first step. And for those that actually go do it, however, you can bring them back, however, and hear some testimonies from the people that actually did it and let them tell us, what their experience were. And that's the way we're going to get this army of critical thinkers. Now, at the end of all this, what we're looking for is an army of critical thinker, alive, living beings on this planet that we're looking for. We're looking for a significant amount of thinkers that's vibrating at the optimal level, and they can be anywhere on the earth. And what we're going to do, we're going to have a thought. At the same time, we're going to focus on one thought. After we looked at the glass and made it move, we're going to come together and have a thought on this planet. One thought. At the same time, all of these people that have been doing this, one thought, one energy, to go up at the same time. It won't be rooted in no prayer. It won't be rooted in no begging. It won't be rooted in no voting. It won't be rooted in anything that we've done before, because you never heard anyone say anything like this before. We are going to get a collective energy of like-minded beings on the God level of consciousness to have one thought at the same time. Right now in Israel, it's 4:36 in the morning. What time you have over there, great brother?
Central Time, 8:38.
It's 8:38 there. It's 4:36 in the morning here. And for those brothers and sisters that tune in to this, we're going to send up one thought. We're going to focus a few minutes on the same thought. It don't have to be millions and billions. It's just got to be enough individual that on the right frequency, dietary standards, and we have one thought. And we'll come online and we get everybody clocked in, because it's different, times around the world. You set the time because you're the one on the show. You set the time and we'll go on your time. Just like tonight, I set the clock and I got up over here. And we have everybody
for that. Yeah.
Huh?
I appreciate you for that.
And then we can begin to work this. And just like you say, peace to the God. Peace to the God. Peace to the God. And so now you were saying that, and that caught my attention. I'm like, whoa, he said, peace to the God. I'm like, who is this brother? Peace to the God. You set a rhythm, and in that rhythm, you manifested me. And now listen to what I'm sharing about the head to our people. And there are other brothers and sisters out there that's on this same wavelength, that's willing to do this, willing to get us a shot, because we ain't never shot no shot like this before. Who done came and told us these things? Connected you back to Egypt, the ether. we've heard bits and pieces around the way. We got a lot of brothers and sisters that's very educated in this bits and pieces, but now we're talking about organizing ourselves in this realm of higher consciousness with our pineal gland, our system clean, and we've been practicing on moving the glass. Now we want to come together all as one and have this one thought, and then we'll come up with what we want to think about. You tell us we could just concentrate on whatever. And we'll step our way up to this day to where we clock everybody. You set the time, and everybody else that's involved, you get your whole army of people that's on your show. And we begin to get ready. We go into this thought day. We getting these minds together. You know what I'm saying? And no one can control this. And then we come up to the day that we put these thoughts out, because we've been practicing moving this glass. I mean, I got children that's doing this. And so now we bring these powerful adults up and get them to a point where we all on your clock, and we clock this in, and we start that thinking. Great brother, I had a good time. I want to say, I can't even say thank you enough from allowing me this opportunity to just share this. This is something that many of our people can use. We're changing our minds. We are unlocking, unleashing, cleansing our mind, coming from under this stupor that this heathen has gotten us in. He tricked us. Okay, I give him that. He tricked us. Okay. Seder, all right. He did that. Okay, we clear now. Like the elders say, you can trick me one time, that's shame on me. But shame on you. But you trick me twice, that's shame on me. Okay, so he got that. Now we coming from under that. One thought, one mind, power. I would say power to the people. He absolutely right. Absolutely right. That's this power, God. You put that energy out there because it's true. We are created in the image of the creator that created us, who is a God. The only thing he could create is a God. What do you think God create? Other gods. We got tricked. Okay. He got us. Never again. And this is how we're going to do this. Great brother. I had a wonderful time. I had a great workout at the gym, and it's 4:41 in the morning, and it's good. I don't have to work tomorrow. I'm asleep, but I thank you, my brother. Great love to you. Great respect.
Hey, thank you. Thank you for coming on the show. You chop it up with me, different times, and always give me game. You know what I'm saying? So I appreciate you. Appreciate you for coming on the show. You blessed everybody. You know what I'm saying? You blessed everybody today, dropping a lot of gems. So, we all love you. You know what I'm saying? And definitely, I'm gonna let you go do what you have to do. But, like I always say, peace to the guys, man. We gotta turn that me into we, and so we can all come with one thought and think together, think on one accord. One sound, one mind.
Right.
So
Right.
That's for sure. That's for sure. This the OG. This is my OG. I'm claiming that this is my OG. Nubian King. For those who don't know, this is Nubian King. You know what I'm saying? So absolutely, brother. Appreciate you.
All right, great brother. I'm gonna turn it out. I'm gonna shut it down. Tomorrow is Yom Rishon here. Yom Rishon is the first day. And here in Israel, we have Shabbat. That's Saturday. That's the only day Yom Rishon starts the week for us. And you know what? I would like to just say this in Hebrew, in the hearing of our people. I want to just say a quick little Hebrew prayer. And I know that I'll say it in Hebrew, then translate it to English. Can I do that, OG?
Go ahead. Go ahead.
Okay. Oavinu asher nim sabashemayim, Elohei Avraham Yitzchak v'Yaakov, El Shaddai, El Elyon, Hu shebekarbenu meko ha'amim asher al panei ha'adama liyot am tzigulato, Ein beincha, ein kimucha. Mi yakol amo nekdech Yahweh barolanu af echad. Zot hasiba anu mivakshim, Ana Yahweh. Ta'azor lanu lehatzliach neged ohev shelanu. Na Yahweh. Ta'azor lanu lehatzliach neged ohev shelanu. Na Yahweh. Ta'azor lanu lehatzliach neged ohev shelanu. Bikol anivut Yahweh im kol alev sheli. Anu mevakshim. Ki anu yeladim shech ha'i afshar la'sotum nevar levad zot tasiba anu mevakshim bikol anivut im kol halev ta'azor lanu Yahweh. She'ata yihye kahei lomar hine yeladim sheli. Selah. That little prayer was a prayer beseeching to the Holy One of Israel to assist us in our endeavor to protect us from our adversaries and to give us strength as your children to cause us to be victorious against our enemies. And that is the Hebrew prayer. These prayers are for these days. In the scriptures, you're taught that this is the way to pray. Well, for those that, know in those days back then, they had circumstances they were dealing with. Now, these are days that we have circumstances we're dealing with. And so if you're going to offer up these prayers, then these prayers have to be prayers that we're dealing with from our hearts and soul that to help assist us in this endeavor that we're dealing with today, great brother. Okay?
Absolutely.
Thank you. I can't say it enough. Toda Rabban. Thank you very much, Toda Rabban, for giving me this opportunity to share this with our people. Love to you. Love to all of our people that's here tonight. Hope that I said something to help us. And let's get back together whenever you decide and take it to the next step. Okay?
You definitely do that. Definitely do that, brother. Peace to you. Peace to the guys. Salute.
All right. Shalom.
Shalom. All right. Oof. Man. Oof. Man, if y'all just coming in, y'all miss an amazing bill, So like I say, the brother, he hit me up random times. He always, have a good word to say, some good knowledge to give me, so the fact that he can actually give that to the people, it's amazing, it's amazing, so it's definitely a blessing to have him on the show, to always have him to speak a good word, like I say, he an OG, he been in the game for a minute, you know what I'm saying? So a lot of times when he talk, I just sit back, hey, do what you got to do, because he very knowledgeable. He knows. So, man, I second everything that he said. You know what I'm saying? So that's for real. Real talk, So I'll be honest. I started out this show thinking it was going to be a different show. Another brother, he did hit me up and said he wanted to hop on. So I didn't know how long he was going to go. The whole thing was beautiful. I loved it. You know what I'm saying? So I'm going to have him on anytime I want, anytime, like you say, so we can get to the next level. We can all build this together, get our minds straight, So just as he said, we definitely got to get our minds straight. We can't have a calcified pineal gland like they do. We have to be on top of what we need. You know what I'm saying? So definitely eating the right foods. We already know they're putting anything and everything in our foods. You know what I'm saying? So like we know this, but we not acting like we know this. You know what I'm saying? So we eating this food, and then instantly we feel bad right after eating it. You got to know that there's something wrong with it. That you could easily eat a organic fruit or vegetable, and you'll be energized to do more things. You know, why don't we want to be energized? You know, so it's almost like someone came up with this term that call it a delicious suicide. We're killing ourselves. We're killing ourselves in many different ways, but definitely with food. I would say one of the most strategic ways they actually have is to put stuff in our foods to kill us, you know, to take us off of our natural vibration and to doing things that we need to do as a people, to take us away from how we need to think as a people. You know what I mean? I mean, we see it in all their movies. The best way to kill someone is just to sprinkle a little something in their food, a little poison, and then watch them fall out. You know? So some of the best assassins, they do that. They don't use a gun. The best way is to sneak attack. Like get them while they sleeping, get them while they slipping. You know, so they don't know. You know what I'm saying? So food is very important. It's essential. I mean, look at our neighborhoods. Go to the city where Black people, go anywhere where Black people are, especially in America, and find out that there's a fast food everywhere around the neighborhood. You know, we got liquor stores. I mean, granted, we got a lot of drugs in our neighborhood. Some of us watch Snowfall, the series, and we know what the CIA did, you know, and it's all to control our minds. It's all to control our minds. Let's just think if they wasn't able to control our mind, then what? What can they do? What can they do to us? You know what I'm saying? So it's deep, you know, it's deep. You know, they control our minds with many different ways. Through food, through the thing that we watch, through education, through so many different things. They even spraying stuff in the air. It's all to control who we are. Someone say they spraying stuff in the air just to make sure that it stay a certain temperature, that it doesn't get that hot, that the sun rays wouldn't beam and you know, do something to our pineal gland to kind of wake us up. It's all mind control. They want to control our minds. You know what I'm saying? And they find in many different ways to do that. Many different ways. You know what I'm saying? So we gotta be smart. We gotta think as the beautiful people that we are. You know what I mean? We gotta think as the gods, the kings and queens. All the beautiful things that a lot of us call ourselves, we gotta think like that. We just can't say it. But then after you think like that, surround yourself around other people that think like that. You know, because it's one thing just to be just one person to do something. That's cool. But what if it was hundreds, thousands, millions of us doing the exact same things? How powerful is that? We all thinking the same. But we can never think the same if we ain't treating ourselves right. We ain't treating our bodies right. Like the temple that it truly is, you know. The first temple of God was you, was this shell right here, your body, the body that you live in. You know what I'm saying? That's the first temple of God, the house of God. You in it. You in the house of God. You don't even have to leave the house. You in the house of God. You know what I'm saying? You don't gotta go to church to be in the house of God. You in it, you know? You just gotta treat it like one. So, but yeah, I definitely wanted to leave that with you, especially after the beautiful build that the brother had. I wanted to bring more people on, but I don't want to hold y'all for too long. You know, we just had a very special guest, you know. You know, so in fact for life. In fact for life. You know what I'm saying? Black Panther Party, new Black Panther Party. You know what I'm saying? Black Panther Nation, you know, Black Riders, you know, and the original Panthers. You know what I'm saying? We all won for life. You know what I'm saying? We all won. And there's so many other Hebrew Israelites. Come on now. You know what I mean? And then it's some Moors that's out there. I was speaking with a Moorish militia. Yeah, I see them too. You know, we all got to move as one, no matter how we think. You know what I'm saying? We all got to move as one. As you can see on this shirt, it say know thyself, thyself. It's the reason why our ancestors wanted us to know thyself. Because if we don't, then it make it easier for other people to control you. Because you already know that they are learning everything that they need to know about who you are. That's the reason why they're able to control you anyway. So we must hop on code. We must hop on code. You know what I'm saying? I don't care about your emotions or where you come from or what's going on. We gotta hop on code. It's a must. You know what I'm saying? We gotta be on the same page. Everybody else are. I tell you, as soon as we walk in a room amongst a bunch of white people, they could be arguing. Yeah. This or that and the third about everything. Soon as one of us walk in a room, they all turn and look our way. They all hop on code instantly. No matter what arguments they was having, disagreements, they hop on code as soon as we enter the room. As soon as we enter the party, they all thinking exactly the same. We need to be like that. And obviously better than that, because I mean, we just so happen to have that God gene. So, you know, everything that we do is lit. You know what I'm saying? So the American way, they would never have this country if it wasn't for us. So they had to snatch us up. In order to build a country, you gotta have melanated people to do that. You got to. We can't do it ourselves. So let's go to Africa. Let's take some of the people that's already on their land. Let's force them to do things for it, because you know they ain't gonna do it for free. But we could force them to do it for free. We could trick them into doing it for free. Tricking them, you know, taking them outside of their mind. But yeah, that's all I wanted to leave you out today. You know what I'm saying? I'm gonna do this every Saturday. And I'm probably going to come back at you on a Wednesday. You understand? So, you know, much love to everybody in the building. You know what I'm saying? Especially for the ones that stayed for the whole thing, able to catch that whole beautiful build. You know, I know that y'all was blessed. And much love to the people that's going to watch the playback, things like that. It's all love. You know what I'm saying? So we got to act as one, you know, pay homage to our ancestors, the ones that was actually make things move, and pay homage to the OGs as well, the one that's still making things move today. We need y'all. You know what I mean? We need y'all. We need everyone. All right? Much love. Peace to the Godz. I'm gone.
Yeah. They insured the ships, they paid for the whips, they funded the expeditions, they paid for the trips, and they talk about genocide, they funded our Holocaust, they screaming out Mazel Tov from throwing the Molotov. Hit you in your noggin, now your yarmulke falling off. It's Yahweh or the highway, you'll be dead when the shotty spark. When the shots hit your chest, it'll burn like Bacardi Dark. Return to the Falasha, kill the white Jew imposter, because you lack the matzah to deal with my people proper. Now you gon' have to deal with this bleeping shotgun, the slumlord. The moment you see me, you know you done for. You even see my face on your TV, you better run for it. The evil Hebrew, unequal, you claim to be the chosen people. The wrath of God come to see you. No respect for Israel, you criminal, set the colony. You hate me cause I'm speaking the truth, you try to silence me.
I believe in my God and in my my gun. And you say, well, you don't really believe in God. If you believe in the gun, I believe in God and my gun. And I pray that he will bless you. When it's time to shoot,